Hi, welcome. I'm Tom, your host, and this is the DROPCAST Movie Poster Podcast Release Edition. And I'm doing something different today, so with the introduction, so there's something new. But we have a first timer on the podcast, which is Peter Ware, and he's better known as 17th and Oak, and he will join us today, and we will talk some video game and future movie release Mega Man for 1988. And after that, James and I will talk the Snyder Cut, Bill and Ted, more NES games, and best film Oscar poster releases that we've seen on the internet. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and don't forget to hit that like button. Now let's get over to Pete. Pete, man, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm good, thank you very much.
It's perfect. I mean, you don't know. I don't know if you can see it right now, but Pete told us in the beginning he had to turn the blinds, so it's gonna not the sun is not gonna hit us really well. Don't worry, buddy. Don't worry. It's fine.
There we go.
It's right there, exactly. It looks very since we talked just about Snyder, but no, it looks very J.J. Abrams.
It does. I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with that as well. I think the sun is going to change any second anyway, so you're going to be fine in a little bit. But yeah, as I introduced, you have a print out. I mean, you had multiple out. If people want to check out your website, where do they go? First question.
17thandoak.com.
Exactly. So basically, also the Instagram handle and the name. That's where you're gonna find him.
Yeah.
Exactly, and he has. Do you still have the wonderful? Was it Back to the Future? Was it right?
Yes.
That's a really great print. Is it still available?
It is. There's a handful left of them. Limited edition of 100, fully licensed and everything. There's a handful left.
Exactly, people.
On my website.
Check that out. We when it came out, we talked about it on a release podcast with James, and we both said this is one of the best Universal Back to the Future prints that we've seen, and so cool. This is definitely something that you should check out too. And if you have the chance to get your hands on it, it's officially licensed and everything, so that's really cool. Check it out as well. But coming back to your print. I'm gonna go straight up into it and show the people what they could get. And this is a beautiful Mega Man release. So many details in this one. We're gonna talk about all of them, and we're gonna talk the process, obviously. And
yes.
Could you first give us some background information? Basically, what are the dimensions? What is the edition size? How did you get in touch with 1988 to do this?
Right, let me think. I've been doing a few prints for 88 over the past few years. Mm-hmm. They're one of the first galleries I ended up doing artwork for. Yeah. So every year they kind of send a list to artists saying, this is what's coming up. What do you want to be a part of? I tend to go for the ones that aren't overly movie-based, just for something a bit different. So doing computer games in the style of movie posters, that appealed to me. Especially the Nintendo, because I'm an old Nintendo kid.
I have to say, isn't there a Mega Man release actually for a movie? I think I heard something about that.
I think judging from my research, there is a Mega Man movie out there, but I get the feeling it's more like a low-budget fan film type thing. But I don't think there's anything bigger than that.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong then. But I thought I read it somewhere that there's going to be a movie, but maybe
there might be one coming out soon. Yeah. I mean, they'll make movies of anything, so it wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, Emoji Movie got a movie, so
exactly. There we go. But yeah, so essentially, like this is one of the ones that kind of appealed to me, just because it was taking something and putting it in the format of a movie poster or a gig poster or something like that. Mm-hmm. So essentially, and so I decided I was trying to think of what NES game to do. I mean, to be honest, the NES was a little bit before my time. I'm more of a Super Nintendo person.
Oh, okay.
So it was a toss-up between Mega Man and California Games, and eventually just landed on Mega Man because I just thought it'd be a lot of fun to do, to be honest.
I mean, I personally, I was always a PC kid. Like I started out with Commodore and all of that back in the day. And if I would have to pick my NES game, if I would have be able to do anything like this, I would have either picked Super Mario, of course, or
Yeah.
I would have picked was it World Cup Soccer or World Cup '94 or something like that? There's a soccer game where you could basically there's this one thing where when you hit the A and B button, it would do like the super crazy kick, which always gives you a goal with any team.
Okay.
But you could do it only like so many times in a game, and you had to pass like a high pass to yourself at the midline and didn't do this trick, which is crazy. But it was a fun game. I always had a plenty of good time when I was playing this. So yeah, but back to you.
Yeah, I haven't played that game, unfortunately. I also worked on the theory that because they started with the NES, if this show goes well, chances are they might do others. So I didn't want to shoot myself in the foot too early by doing, say, Mario, for example, and then they do the SNES, and I'll be like, oh man, I could have done Mario World. Yeah, and I also kind of thought, you got Duck Hunt and the classic ones on the NES. I could have done those, but they may have not fitted with my style. That could have worked and that could have not worked. I'm a very comic-arty, cartoony sort of style, so something like Duck Hunt may have worked, but I wanted to go the more sci-fi route and go Mega Man. Plus the colors of Mega Man are awesome as well, which I like to think come across in this artwork.
Yeah. It totally does. I mean, I remembered playing Mega Man only on Game Boy. I played a lot of Game Boy and I had like all the different Mega Mans that were available at that time, and it was always fun to play. But it was like back then when I was younger, it was like really hard to beat. It's like it's not like those games nowadays.
I have to admit that I don't think I've played Mega Man. Not that I remember. I seem to have chosen a game that I haven't really played, but I just love the aesthetics of it, which really appealed to me. I was definitely more of a Super Mario sort of person, but I thought that would be too much of an obvious choice.
But have you seen the animated show for that? I think there was an animated show back in the 90s.
Only from the research.
Okay.
I'm a very research-heavy person when I take on a new project.
That's a good thing, yeah.
I've delved into every corner of Mega Man that I can find, bar from playing it. Funny enough.
That's crazy, yeah.
But with research, you don't have time to always sit down and play things or watch the movies or anything like that. Anyway, so
Did you watch gameplay footage? Like, is it on YouTube?
Oh
or something like that?
You from the original one, just to get an idea of the bad guys in it and how they looked, and also just the colors of Mega Man, just trying to nail those as well.
So, speaking of the print, the print is in what size?
So I didn't say that. It is
A2.
It's A2. Off the top of my head, I'm not too sure what the inches are, but it's probably the closest to like 24 by 18 sort of inch.
Okay.
And it's an edition of 35.
Okay, that's cool.
Just digitally printed.
Yeah, and it's all still available, people. At least 2 days ago when I checked, it was all available, or not all, but it was still available, the print itself, over at 1988, Gallery 1988. So head over there if you enjoy this one as much as I do. I mean, a couple people had some Mega Man prints, and I mean, the Tom Whalen one was even more limited, I think, and that was just sold out quick, though. But I think this one is equally beautiful, so don't sleep on that as well. But I want to get into the process. What was your idea behind it? How did you get from the first sketch to your final product that we see here now?
Right. So, I mean, as you may or may not know, and my artwork tends to be very perspective-led, which tends to be the biggest starting point for anything I do. So I'll take an aspect of Mega Man and just like put a camera around it and just see which way I can go and things like that. This one, I thought the best way to for people to instantly gauge with it was just have Mega Man written on there. Instead of just a little title at the bottom, let's just have Mega Man written on there. So I thought, well, Mega Man perspective, there you go. There's my idea. Have a kind of like a robot-esque style text of Mega Man with Mega Man looking up at it with all the bad guys within the text, as if Mega Man's got to kind of like take over that text and win it back almost.
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea behind it.
Okay, and you had like I've seen the different like the text when you put it in. Was there at some point where like is it some sort of kind of building that it represents, like the letters, or is that your idea behind it, or?
There is no idea behind it other than just giant text.
Okay, because like for me, when I saw it the first time, I was like, oh, that's a cool building, and then you look closer on like a second glance. Oh, it actually spells out Mega Man, so that's cool. So I thought it was like a building he has to conquer, like to conquer himself, basically. You know, going like, a little meta here.
to be fair, I love doing artwork that that looks intricate enough that there's more below the surface. So people can sit there and, like you're saying, it looks like he has to conquer himself and things like that. I just thought it kind of looked cool, but I love the fact that people can kind of like read more into it. I mean, that's
what art does, I guess.
Exactly, and I love it. Like I'm an ex-graphic designer, so if I tend to struggle I with like what to do with headers and things like that, I just think in a design point of view where, well, let's do something with the header. Let's just make something of the header. So Mega Man being the header, let's turn it and make it look robotic because of the setting, and just see how that comes out. And luckily it came out really well, thankfully.
Yeah, it did. I pulled up, because you talked about the perspective in a sketch, I showed that to the people, and now I'm at the letters. Is there a reason why the letters have different colors?
Right, okay, so let's just see, where are you at? I need to have a look. Okay, so if they're all black, you wouldn't see the difference between the G and the E. Okay. So when I'm drawing it, I wouldn't know where to draw around the G or the E, for example, or the A. So that's why they're different colors. Essentially, to get to this point, I tend to I will type it out in Illustrator and then copy and paste it into Photoshop and then stretch it to the perspective lines that I've added in. But obviously, like I say, like, they need to be different colors just so I can differentiate the different letters as I'm going to draw them and show like E sitting on top of G and a little bit behind it and things like that. So it's just all there to keep me to remind me what I've got to do next, basically.
And when the next one says Clip Studio, what did you do there in kind of regards of to the lettering?
So I just noticed like my halo is getting really big.
It's okay. Don't worry, buddy.
Is that all right?
Okay. We can hear you perfectly fine, halo or not.
There you go. That's what I look like. Hey, yeah. So the Clip Studio is a program I've used bits and bobs of, but decided for this to really go at it. It's a program that is very much like Photoshop, but tends to be leaning more towards manga and comic art. But one thing it does have is you can set out you can set out grids and guides like in Photoshop that are perspective led, and your pen stroke connects to it. So I will basically save that Mega Man like I've got there with the different colors lettering, export it into Clip Studio where I can then lay it as a background, and then I can set up my perspective lines and draw and just draw basically. So the basis is the Mega Man. So once I've got that, everything else you see on there, all those lines, is just me sat there drawing completely out of my head. So all that detail within all the lines, just because I can fit to these, it snaps to these perspective lines. It's really hard to explain, so you should go try. But
I think I got it. I think I got it at least.
I mean, like Photoshop and things like that, things will snap into place. But this snaps to the perspective I've set up.
That's great.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really good, and it just gives me the ability to do that amount of detail. And I sit there for hours, just drawing lines and drawing boxes and drawing shapes and just making it slowly build it.
How long did it take? Was it a pain in the ass to draw? Did you at some point think, oh, why did I want so many little details?
to be fair, I do that with every piece I do. yeah, there's always a middle period. So when you start off doing it, you think this is going to be ace. This is a really great idea. Then there's this huge long middle period of boredom where you feel like you're going through the motions. Then you got the last period where you see it coming together and you like the excitement comes back again.
Okay.
That middle period was long. That was a good few days of me just drawing little perspective lines and things like that. But when you start seeing it come together, you just want to get it finished.
Did you put a hidden message in or something?
No, I didn't.
Or like an Easter egg, you know what I mean?
I often do with my pieces, and for some reason,
what are the Easter eggs? What were you putting in? Is it like, I don't know, because like I know Matt Ferguson always, like, if he remembers, he tries to put in the unicorn.
I always, in a lot of my pieces, it's got my initials and my partner's initials.
Oh, okay.
Hidden in a lot of my artwork, which will be PW and AS. So if anyone can like spot those, like just like shout it out on Instagram or something. But they are very, very well hidden.
Okay, people, that's a new challenge now. You find those PW and ASs.
And trust me, it's not an easy challenge because I do them really small. But I didn't with this one. And this was like the perfect print to add in so much stuff. But I didn't. I think I just got lost in drawing lines and robotic boxes and stuff.
You also gave me the lines palette for it. I just showed that. And then we see the different colors you use on this one.
Yes.
Is that also used for the separations for the screen print? Or could it be a screen print in that regard?
It can. So basically, this is a newer. This piece was an experimental piece for myself, to be honest.
Okay.
So the Clip Studio Paint program, that was an experiment with a new program. The 5 colorway is something new I'm taking. I want to experiment with as well, because I have a tendency to get lost in color. I get bogged down by just adding and adding and adding, and then a bit of a Photoshop effect, and then this. I decided to start stripping a lot of my work back in terms of color, and this was one of the first pieces that I did that with. I mean, I've got some older pieces which work really strong because of the limited color palette, like my True Romance, for example. So I decided to start doing that with a few future pieces, and this is one of them. Mega Man is an easy one because obviously he is blue. He's 2 shades of blue, and the bad guy is a yellow, orange, and I think there's a black in there as well for the outlines. And that's it.
Is it the color palette? Is it the way you like you gave first? I showed the yellow. Now I show the light blue, and then now I will show the red for the people. Is that the way you did that as well, or is it different order or anything, or how?
That's not the way I put those in there to show how the colors came together, but that's not how I do it. Okay. So like I would draw and color in Mega Man first, and then the M, and then something else. So like I'll go around it, doing each piece color by color, to get all of those colored squares within the Mega Man text itself. There's literally just a magic wand tool and just randomly clicking boxes and turning those red and things like that. So it's a lot random. So then and then after, so I thought I'd show you the separation to show how the 5 colors do eventually come together, but that's not how I work.
Okay, that's good to know. I thought it was good. That's going to be a tedious process, just deciding which color goes where. But yeah, it's really cool. And so this is a really great print. Is there going to be are there going to be some APs in the future, or is it just allocation via 1988?
To be honest, it'd probably be just a 1988, and unless I can sort something out somewhere else, it will probably just stay as a 1988 print, I imagine.
Okay, that's good to hear. So people, if you want to grab one, do it now before they're all gone over at 1988. And before you go, Pete, I wanted to ask you on. No, I forgot what I wanted to ask. Oh yeah, now I remember. Which is your favorite villain of the ones you had to draw? You can see them in there.
Yeah,
obviously
quite
small-ish. Yeah, but if you look closer, and I guess on the print you will see them better. Oh, I remember this cut guy. with like the
Yeah, with the scissors. Yeah, I never quite got that.
I remember that playing against this dude. So yeah, it's like I remember a couple. The Electro dude. That was like one of the first levels I think I remember. But yeah,
Yeah.
so what was your favorite villain to draw? And would there be like if you do a variant piece, put the villain in the middle? How about that?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I to be honest, I love doing the Doctor, just the main Doctor, because you've got like the 7 other robots, but the main Doctor was fun just because you can make him like a cliched evil guy with his hand up and looking like and something's glowing in it as if he's about to overtake the world. I did love that. And there's the big guy as well with throwing the boulder.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his name is. He was a lot of fun to draw as well.
Okay, that's good to hear. So yeah, or this could be a series. If this thing is gonna sell out and they want some more, do maybe 5x5s of all the villains. I think that would be cool.
That'd be
to go
cool.
around it, like frame it, like on each side, and then the Mega Man poster in the middle. I think that would be awesome.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
All right, Pete. So let the people know again where they can find you and where they can find your artwork to buy, obviously. So we can grab some of your stuff.
Yeah, so there's my website, 17thanoak.com. I've got a range of licensed prints on there to buy. Social media, it's basically just 17th and Oak across the board. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, 17th and Oak.
All right, sounds very good. So people check him out. He's obviously linked in the caption. So click on that. Make sure you follow him. And go buy those beautiful Mega Man prints. I tell you, they're definitely worth it. The digital file looks great. And I think that if it's a digital print, it will look exactly like that. So there won't be a problem with any screen printing problems that come up and that we heard in the past. Okay, guys. Thank you so much, Pete, for coming on again. And I will now talk to James, which you also know, I guess. And James and I will talk some more releases from the last 2 weeks. So stay tuned for that. Damn, somebody is happy to be here. Welcome, James. Thank you for introducing us. It's such a pleasure to have you on. Yeah, see, James didn't want to do the bit, and he was waiting silently for almost over a minute just to annoy me. He's my favorite co-host. But hey, people, how's everybody doing? Thank you, James, for coming on, as always. And, we like to shoot the shit, as the kids say. Today I have, other than releases, I want to talk about 2 things before we get into it. And one of the things is NFT, and the other thing is screen printing. First off, we're going to start with the NFT stuff, and because there's a lot of rumblings going around, especially in the collector scene, and people are behaving like toxic Star Wars fans or any other big franchise fans, which is very uncool, and hating on artists for doing stuff. And most of the time, they don't even know the whole picture. But James, what is your standpoint on the NFT situation?
Firstly, don't hate on people who are doing NFTs. That's just the major thing. People will make their decisions, and you can educate people from information that you've found. For me personally, from the information that I know from jobs that I've previously had, which are in the kind of data center space as well, I'm kind of surprised that it's taken this long for there to be a kind of issue about the the environmental thing isn't new and isn't just to NFTs. It's like huge data centers do take up a lot of energy. So it's kind of surprising that it's taken this long to see it in mainstream media. But I guess it's the tangible fact that people are kind of like trading artworks, and it's made it a little bit more visual. I guess that's the reason why mainstream media have kind of picked up a little bit as well. But yeah, for me right now, I think that there will be progress on the environmental part of it. It isn't sustainable at the moment, and the facts state that. I don't think that's really deniable. You can say that there's plenty of other industries that are just as damaging, etc., etc., and I think that's where a lot of arguments come from. There's also, if you are minting artworks, people will say, well, look, my carbon footprint is tiny. Otherwise, I don't travel across the world every week.
You don't? No jet set life?
I mean, I used to. I left that life behind.
Yeah, it's okay. Fair enough.
So I can make NFTs.
To get back to that jet set life, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll be selling the NFTs to buy the jet again. Yeah, I kind of lost my thread, but it's all right. I'd lost it from the beginning.
But yeah, I'm totally with you. I mean, the environmental aspects are definitely important, but on the other hand, it is good to see that artists getting paid the money that they are worth, basically. So it's definitely more than, or most of the time, more than they would get or make on artwork for galleries and stuff like that. So that's an interesting fact to look at as well. From a perspective of getting credit and getting maybe the money they deserve or the money they should deserve. Yeah,
it's definitely a positive aspect. All of a sudden, like, artists are getting money directly, and that can only be a good thing. Yeah. But yeah, it's up to you whether you weigh up that with the environmental costs.
That's true indeed.
For me right now, it's probably not something that I'm thinking about doing. I'm not completely comfortable with the environmental aspects, but I know that moves are being taken to make it more sustainable. So it's something that I'll keep researching, and it's something I kind of have a natural interest in as well. As I said, I used to do work with a company who were pushing and making the running of like huge data centers and mining complexes more sustainable. So it is happening, and there is government funding as well, like as an incentive, which is important. I know there's certainly EU funding over in Europe.
Okay. Yeah. So I wonder, for the people out there, if you want to let us know your opinion on your stance on the NFT world, I would gladly read some comments of you guys. So let us know in the comments what's up. And also, before I forget to say it, smash that like button. Didn't say it in a long time. James, you're not laughing as usual about my stupid statements.
It's the usual now. It's just the thing that we have to say.
That's true. Indeed. But yeah, so that's one of the topics I want to talk about before we get into the releases. The second topic I want to talk about is the screen printing, because there has been some issues in the printing world coming from one of our favorite galleries, Bottleneck, and they had some issues with the Gab's screen print for the Lord of the Rings that came out around Christmas, was it, right? Or before Christmas? A little bit before Christmas, I think. And yeah, so there were some troubles with the variant version. The people that got it first were not as satisfied with the details in the prints. It looked a little bit mushy. They said, or the picture showed it off a little bit and not as expecting to it. But screen printing is a very hard and different process. And I think, James, you know a lot more about that than I do. So how about you tell us a little bit something about that and why people should lower the expectations?
Yeah, yeah, maybe. I mean, this was you had Gabs on the show to kind of like walk you through the amount of detail that he went into in pencil work and then painting it up was huge. And the composition itself involved a lot. It was a triptych with a lot of small characters. I mean, it had to be that way, otherwise it would just look like I don't know, a huge mess. I was going to say of an artist, but I'm not going to say that particular artist. So yeah, I think expectations were high, because a lot of the digital art that had been showed was incredibly detailed. My personal feeling is that this should never have been a screen print in the first place. I think, this whole scene has its kind of history rooted in screen printing, and possibly the earlier like Mondo pieces came out of like gig screen printing, where you'd have, like, larger block colors. It's not so illustrative. Things were done. Screen printing was a way of getting out pieces relatively cheaply in fairly large edition sizes, to literally paste up as gig posters, etc. I think we've kind of got to a place now where the illustration and the likeness in a lot of these posters, it's very, we've seen it's almost impossible to do at the level of detail that people might expect when they see the digital drawing.
Exactly, yeah.
Or the pencil digital drawing. Having said that, I don't think the print job was perfect either. So it's kind of like this mesh of two issues, really. It was like the expectation was probably a bit too high for a screen print, whereas it should have been a giclée in my opinion.
Why?
And the print job wasn't great. I mean, I've got my poster over there. I was lucky enough to grab a variant. And yeah, it's comparing it to some other screen prints with similarly detailed work, it's just not quite there, and I can't put my finger on why. It is being reprinted, we should say.
That's true indeed, yeah. And it seems like that the variant is only at fault here, but I think that's the only one that got out like to the people so far. So I mean the run of the timed edition was fairly big, so reprinting that would be very improbable, I guess.
Yeah. Obviously, we don't know the changes that have been made to this print. I think already have some been tested and their improvements have been shown. But there are also no metallics on this screen print either, which was odd. It was sold as having a metallic layer. But I think they replaced it with a gloss layer on certain areas.
Okay.
Which was a slightly odd decision as well.
Is that maybe in the new version? Will that be addressed as well? Do you know?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe that was in the email that they would be.
Okay.
The return to the metallic.
Okay. I mean, that's good to hear. I mean, it's good on Bottleneck that they decided fairly quickly, with the people's feedback, obviously, but to do a reprint of these. And sometimes shit happens, and just gotta face the consequences. And this is one of them. But the project and customer service is always A+ when it comes to Bottleneck. So a good thing on them that they're doing this and that they at least listening and try to show some reasoning on the matter and make it transparent what happened. And so that's definitely a plus in my book. But coming back to printing in general, would you prefer litho to giclée or?
No, giclée will give you a better print quality.
Okay.
Slightly more expensive, but at the price that these prints were at, I think a giclée would have been good. You'd get the reproduction of the images that had been shared pre-printing, and it would have been pinpoint perfect with some rich colors. But as kind of mentioned, it's screen print. Screen print is the root of this this hobby. But I think people need to kind of maybe, not everyone obviously, but some people need to kind of like temper expectations that screen print's a limited medium. It's great. It feels more tangible, but it has its limitations. And on an art piece such as this, I probably would have gone giclée, to be getting exactly what you saw.
Yeah, and I think that's what the detail and those fine lines and stuff like that. That's what the people wanted. And that's what the people expect from gaps. So
yeah. Then how many of those people, if they saw it was a giclée, would have said, "Oh, I'm not interested because it's not."
I wonder. I guess nobody, because like it would have been, "Oh, this print looks amazing. I need to get it," and they wouldn't look at the details 1 second. I mean, I didn't look at the details. I was like, "I wanted this. Let's do this." So. But yeah, okay. Thank you so much for your insights there, James. And now let's get over to the release section. And our first release is also with Bottleneck, and it is a wonderful print by the very good friend Juan Ramos. And he did this wonderful Zack Snyder Justice League piece, which comes in a variant and also in a 2mm thick aluminum panel, which is amazing. It's a 12 color screen print, 36 by 24 inches. And the version that's shown right now is the regular version, and it's a hand number edition of 375. The variant is my favorite of these three. It's an edition of 175. I like the colors here better. This kind of bluish color looks, from my perspective, it looks the best here. And I like the idea of the aluminum, but I think the colors pop more in the screen print. So my opinion, the screen print is better here. But I haven't seen them in hand, which I definitely want to see. So people, if you have it at hand at some point, how about you send us a photo in the comments? That would be amazing. Speaking of Zack Snyder's Justice League, what's your verdict?
I'm only 3 parts through, I think. 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting very much. I think we said a couple of weeks ago, we were like, yeah, we'll watch it. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it, to be honest. I didn't particularly I can't remember anything about the previous version, but yeah, it was big, dumb fun. It was. I'm really looking forward to watching the rest of it.
I was entertained basically the same, but just was 2 more hours. So. But oh well, yeah. It's objectively it's not a good movie, but it's okay if you want just fun entertainment, some action part. I think the first part the first part is very dragging and very slow, and I think at the end it picks up, so it is more fun and entertaining, in my opinion.
All right. I enjoyed the beginning, so I'm...
Okay, well, then you might like this more than I do. Okay, moving on to another friend of the podcast, which is Murugaya. And Murugaya, he did a Grateful Dead print. I'm not a Grateful Dead fan, but this is what I would imagine from a Grateful Dead print. This is the regular version, and then there's also a variant version, which is my favorite in this one because it got this background. I had to look a couple times to see the difference there, because I was like, it looks the same, but no, now I know. It's the background.
How can you say that's really different?
I know, but I was looking at for when he did variants, he just changed the text or whatever to his language, his mother tongue, I think it is. And changed that, so I was like, wait, there's nothing changed. So, but it seems different. But what is different? And then I realized it. It was like super weird. I had to switch it back and forth a couple times to see it. which was on me definitely. And yeah, this is a 24 by 36 inch print. The hand number, the regular is an edition of 250, and this variant is of 150. And I like this a lot, and I think it looks really cool. And I think that's what Grateful Dead fans want to see. I think they are psychedelic, right? I'm not so familiar with the music.
I'm not that familiar with Grateful Dead,
okay.
But
okay,
couldn't tell you.
Yeah, and that's not the only stuff that is that they did with this print. They also have what kind of version, James? How about you tell us about that?
They did a lenticular version.
Yeah.
There you go.
Your favorite, I guess, huh?
That's all right. I'm okay with lenticular.
You're okay.
People-
Don't lie. Don't lie to the people.
People seem to like them, so
Yeah, but
that's cool.
you said you're okay.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but there was that like Mac and Me teaser thing. I don't know if it was a joke, but I would lap that up. Like BNG put out a Mac and Me like lenticular thing.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's cool. That's
the stuff that James likes. Okay, I see.
Mac and Me, more Mac and Me, like please.
I'm Mac and Me. How about that?
I'll do a Mac and Me. Like if whoever has the license for Mac and Me,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
All right, there you go. And you could do one for Mark Woody. I think it's his name. Podcast. Mark and Me.
Yeah. Exactly.
There you
Can make it a huge time. It'll be massive.
It will be massive, exactly. Yeah, but the lenticular is also on 1mm PET or 4mm polystyrene, 24 by 36 inches, and certificate of authenticity is also in there. Yeah, this is not all what Bottleneck has this week. There's like a late add-in, which is Crime Alley by Brian Reedy. He's basically he's very good friends and lives down the street from Peter Santa Maria, also a great lino cut artist who has been on the show before. And since Pete is always like working with Mondo and Skybound, Brian is working with Bottleneck. I don't know how that happened, or if Bottleneck also wanted into the lino cut game, but this is it. Hand tackled edges on locked up paper, 20 by 36 inches, signed hand number edition of 150. Looks really cool. In close up, also like the details that look very tedious. Probably a long process in making this one with all the tiny little things that had to be cut out. It's crazy. Looks very good. What are your thoughts on this one?
I love it.
Love it?
Yeah. I think Brian's like awesome.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have his own like Etsy store?
I think he does. So yeah, better check Brian Reedy out. I mean, he's mentioned in the caption his Instagram handle. I think you will find everything there. So check it out over there. And this one is coming out tonight when the podcast has aired already at 6 p.m. my time, but I don't know, whatever time, 5 p.m. GMT, I think. So if you're lucky, there might be still some available when this goes live. Also coming out tonight is Jack C. I think C. Gregory is his name, and he put out a beautiful Kiss print. I think I really like this one. I'm not a Kiss fan by any chance, but I think this one looks really cool. It's also screen print, 36 by 24 inches, hand number edition of 125 with this one. And then there's also a red version, the variant version, which is a hand number edition of 50. So very cool stuff. Really enjoying this one. So are you more of a Kiss fan?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Can't get you anything today, man.
I don't like anything anymore.
Yeah, I can tell. But
no, I really like the print though.
Yeah, it's really cool, right?
Cool style and excellent. The regular's like by far the best one there.
Yeah, I think so too.
Me.
I think I'm more a fan of the reg as well. So yeah.
Yep.
Go gobble that up, people. Yeah, this is it for Bottleneck. Let's move over to Mondo. What's our first Mondo print?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah,
By
who framed him though?
Vincent? Who did frame him?
Was it Bugs Bunny?
Jealous Bunnies. Vincent Rucher?
Yeah, I think that's the Stan and Vince. That's one part of Stan and Vince, I think.
No way. How did I not?
I'm not sure. I think it is though.
It probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah, 24 by 36. An edition of 280. I think this one got snapped up.
Yep.
Pretty quick.
Indeed, it did.
I think there was some butt hurt there. I think.
Yeah, I heard so too. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the property, but the poster looks cool. But nothing that I would definitely need in my life, I have to say. Yeah.
I had that movie kid. I really liked it as a kid. I haven't watched it in ages. It's quite an adult like film really, but it's because it was a cartoon. Yeah. Like I think my parents bought it because it looked like a cartoon on like VHS and just had nightmares from the acid scene at the end.
Yeah, that's a crazy scene, man. Yeah, also crazy and maybe nightmares for a couple of you wrestling fans out there is our next poster, which was WrestleMania 13 Stone Cold Steve Austin versus the Brad the Hitman Hart. And this one is by Matt Ryan Tobin, also a good friend of the show. And he did this wonderful piece, and I think this sold out quick as well. I mean, that's a beautiful piece, like the rattlesnake aspect there, and like the glasses crushing it. But I don't know what, because like I was like told my couple buddies are wrestling fans, and I showed that to them, and they were wondering about the lightning. What was the lightning all about? Is it the electricity in the room here, or what are we talking?
You can feel the electricity in the room.
Exactly.
I don't know. I only have had the toys. I was really into the toys as a kid, but I never actually watched the wrestling.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, but yeah, this is a DL screen printing print by with a size of 24 by 36 inches, and this edition is a regular one, which has an edition of 200, and the variant in a little bit more Bret the Hitman Hart reddish or pinkish is an edition of 100. Also, very, very cool stuff. Okay, moving on to our next property, and I'll tell you guys, we're gonna come back to Matt Ryan Tobin, but yeah, let's hear what's next.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure by We Buy Your Kids.
There it is.
This was an 18 by 24 by them, in edition of 175, and they also did Bill and Bogus Journey.
Exactly, and the Lady Lazarus did this one, both of them. So that's also same size edition as well. And I have to say, I like the Excellent Adventure better than the Bogus Journey. But both are very cool.
I can't decide.
You can't decide?
No, I really can't decide. I'll take both, please.
Okay, I'll do you one more. And I'll take all three, please. Including Bill and Ted Face the Music, the third part by Matt Ryan Tobin. I really enjoyed this film, and I know Matt Ryan did also the other parts before, and they were sold via Mondo. So if you had a chance to grab one, I think you did, or you want to grab this one, definitely. It's an edition of 225, and it is 24 by 36 inches, done by DL Screen Printing. Looking very awesome, I have to say. Do you like this one as well, or what's your favorite from the three?
Oh man,
I have to go with Face the Music. Even though I like the out there style.
They're so different, aren't they? Yeah. I can't even compare.
I know, it's okay. Then don't. I gave an answer here.
Why did you do this to me?
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to force you. But yeah, moving on to our next print by Mondo, and the last print by Mondo is the Aristocats. Great movie, loved it as a kid, loved the jazz aspects there, and that's a really cool print by David Merville. I hope David Merville, maybe, I don't know. If it's a French name or not. I think it is.
David Merville.
No, I think he's from Brussels. He's the muscle from Brussels. Do you know who the muscle from Brussels is?
No, David Merville.
Exactly. No, but it's Jean-Claude Van Damme. Oh, dude, what happened, bruh?
Pop culture, it's not my thing, is it?
I can tell. But yeah, this is a really cool piece. This comes in two edition. This is the regular version with an edition of 265, and the variant, which is an edition of 145, printed by Lady Lazarus, 36 by 24 inches. Really cool one, a really cool piece. I love the regular version more than the variant, and I think it's a great piece. If I would have had the money, I would definitely get it, or would have gotten it. you know how it is. But yeah, next gallery is Vice Press. and Vice Press has a printout. And by the way, speaking of Vice Press, we will have an open channel on Saturday where we will talk about some Falcon and Winter Soldier, which we're going to talk about here as well in a little bit. But yeah, this piece is by George Bletzis, who did this Jurassic Park piece for it's called Set Your Sights High. And yeah, it's an open lithograph print. It is for your next vacation. And it's printed on archival paper and size of A2, which is 16.5 inches by 23.4 inches. And I really like this kind of like this flyer type or poster, or like from an editorial ad, in a newspaper.
Yeah,
I think that's really cool. I like the style of it. I like the Brachiosaurus.
Say that again.
I pronounce it German. In German, it's Brachiosaurus.
I quite like that. It's cool.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I like this a lot. I love like stuff like this, like in universe kind of, things taken from the film. And I guess even the original Jurassic Park poster, it's like it's advertising the park almost, because it uses like the park logo, doesn't it? Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, liking it a lot.
Cool stuff. So it's an open lithograph, people. You can grab it. Just head over to Vice Press and get yours. Last week we talked about the Spoke Art show Rockin' Fountain for Rockin' Fountain, and today we have more updated pics and all the posters that are on the show. They're all 16 by 20 inches, and they all come in edition size of 100. And some has some cool variants, which I will talk about. The first one is Big Trouble in Little China, which has also a glow-in-the-dark element in there, I think, which looks really cool with low pan there. And the glow-in-the-dark variant is available, I think, or is it sold out? I'm not sure right now. But it had an edition size of 40, and dimensions 16 by 20 inches, like all of them. What else do we got, Mr. James?
Do the Right Thing.
Yep, that's still my favorite, though, I have to say.
Yes, I agree. And yeah, there's a rainbow foil variant of that. So the regular was an edition of 100, and the foil variant just 40. This is 16 by 20 print.
Exactly.
That one. These are all 16 by 20.
Yeah, same edition size in reg and dimensions is this Pond's Labyrinth print. Jesus, I can't talk. Stutter. Pond's Labyrinth, and this is they all screen printed, by the way, and this also looks really cool, I have to say. And then we have next up
Reservoir Dogs. And then the variant for this one is a cream or creme speckle tone.
Yeah.
So
what would you go for? The speckle tone or the reg?
I don't know. Is that referring to the paper?
Yeah, I think so.
That seems pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like I think the white one is like a little too too bright for me, at least on a digital file, and I love the speckle tone off white kind of look.
Yeah, I agree. I quite like that off white.
Yeah, then
it's quite nice. It seems to be like almost like a luster kind of finish on that.
Maybe.
So not completely matte, not glossy, but just kind of seems textured. But yeah, I prefer that one.
Alrighty. Then the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is also only available as a screen print, as a regular screen print there. So that's doesn't have anything special, but I love obviously, I mean, can't go wrong with red and black. And this kind of yellow popping all from the black background, so that's cool. But still, I'm going with Do the Right Thing as my favorite print. And we also have, which I didn't write down for you, I'm so sorry. But we also have Taxi Driver here, which looks really cool. Also has like the black background there and the black and white imaging, and with the yellow of the taxi coming in there, looking really cool. And the Big Lebowski which looks also really cool. And last but not least is the Monster Squad in there. So that looks also really cool. I like this kind of like 3D effect that comes with it. So that's a cool, like in terms of color, like the blue and the red, looking really amazing. Yeah, this is it for Spoke Art, but the show is still going on. So people, if you want to visit the show, head over to the Spoke Art homepage and schedule a day with them when you want to go and see it in store. It's only available in San Francisco, so if you're in the San Francisco area or Bay Area, then head over there. Alrighty, then we are over with the 1988 collection one sheets. What's up with that, dude?
What is up with that? So they've cleverly worked in NES into their gallery title.
Yeah. It's called One Sheet.
One sheet. Yeah. First one we've got up is by the excellent Derek Payne.
Yeah.
Zelda piece called A Legend.
By the way, when I hear the name Payne, I'm always remembered by the movie with like was one of the Wayans brothers with Major Payne. I don't know who was the actor, but it was Major Payne, and he was like, this was a kid's movie, and he was like a drill instructor dude. Yeah. But yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry, it's 18 by 24 digital print, digitally signed, open edition.
What does digitally signed mean? Just signed and printed?
Means, yeah, I think it just means it's been printed, the printed signature. But it sounds really cool.
It sounds like you just go there with Adobe Sign. You just go there and he signs it.
Well, that's pretty much what it is.
But he signs it only one time. That's like it sounds so weird, you know. But it's okay.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like Sideshow do that, don't they? With their prints, they call it something weird, and it's literally, I think, just printed signature.
Printed signature, exactly. Yeah, and this I think this one looks really amazing and really cool. I really enjoyed this one, and the other one I wanted to show you guys, which was also one of my favorites, is the Jason Reich Dr. Mario. I think I really like all the pills in there, and I like the this kind of like different take on Dr. Mario. Really enjoyed this.
Yeah, that's good.
This is also a digital print. It's an open edition, so if you want one, go and grab one. 17 by 22 inches. Next one is by...
Next one.
Yeah, next one
is by... Is it Skinny Bonsai?
Skinny Bonsai. Like the tree, I guess.
Yes, indeed. The first of many fantasies. This one's a giclée print on cotton rag paper. So it's a high quality print, guys.
High quality print.
16 by 20 inches.
Yeah, let me... I'm still looking for it. I forgot to put the... There it is.
Oh,
there it is.
no.
There it is. Guy got it. I'm back, people. Yeah, Skinny Bonsai. The first of many fantasies.
Yeah.
It's not an open edition. It's an edition of 35. So
35, signed and numbered.
Exactly. It's a cool print.
None of your digital signatures there.
No, I guess not.
Signed by the human hand.
Signed by the human hand, which is absurd in times of Corona. But yeah, last but not least, we had already the Mega Man by Peter Ware. Talked about that one as part of this show. But there's another Mega Man, which was even more limited, and it's this Tom Whalen piece, Mega Man 3. It's this is what I'm showing here is the foil variant, because I like the foil variant better than the reg in this one. Sadly, it's sold out. And yeah, this is a 5-color screen print on brushed foil, 18 by 24 inches, signed and numbered, limited edition of 15. So crazy rare. And I think it looks really cool. I played a lot of Mega Man, but not on the NES. I played it on the Game Boy. Did you play it?
No, I've never played Mega Man.
Did you watch it?
I like the aesthetic.
Did you watch the TV show though?
No.
Jeez, man. Jeez. Okay.
Sorry.
That's all good. This is it for
Open.
Yeah. This is it for our prints from the gallery world. So we're gonna go into more digital and other illustration types. So First up is for the wonderful film Nomadland, and it's an alternative movie poster by Maddox Finkel. Max Finkel, he's been a guest on the not guest on the podcast. He's been was sitting in the audience, but he's a very cool guy. Talked a couple times, and he made this wonderful Nomadland print for the movie by Chloe Zhao, which should win everything at the Oscars, in my opinion, or at least a lot, because this is a very, very good film. Moving on to our next one, which is the same movie, at least. Do you want to talk about it, James, or?
I can talk about it, but I can't see it because you've given me the
I'll show it. Don't throw me under the bus here.
Still give me weird files.
Just get
that I can't
just
see.
Get a good computer, man.
No one's ever heard of those files.
I guess
film.
Twitter has.
Rubbish.
Okay.
Nomadland by Eileen Steinbach, friend of the show, friend of me, friend of you.
Yeah, friend of everybody. She's such a good person, and she always does the series. I don't know if Max does it too, but she does the series for the Oscars, the Best Picture nominees, and does a tribute Oscar poster for this, and it's just been mentioned by the Academy as well on the Twitter account, so that's some really cool stuff. And yeah, this is a beautiful Nomadland poster, and she also did some more. She did one for Minari so far, and which looks really amazing as well, which was also a really good movie. And also one of my favorite movies is Sound of Metal, which was amazing. Did you watch it? You're a drummer. Did you watch it yet?
Not yet, but I will.
Do me a favor and watch it. It's so much worth your time. It's come on, you watched 3 parts of fucking Snyder shit, and not this one. I'm sorry that I have to throw you under the bus now.
Sorry. What? I will watch it. Like, it's my kind of film.
Yeah, I figured. So go watch it.
Okay.
It's a really good stuff. Also some other stuff. I'm sorry, James. I'm gonna change the order now. But also some other Oscar stuff is Promising Young Woman, the Carey Mulligan film, which is also really great. This is like Nomadland, Minari, and Promising Young Woman. That's how I started out the new year, with those 3 movies on January 1st. So that was good start into the year. And these movies are amazing. Definitely worth a watch, and really like this one. The poster's really cool, very colorful. So that's a very cool piece by Ken Sjöberg. I hope I pronounced that right. Swedish? Sounds Swedish. It could be also, I don't know, German? Who knows? But yeah, this is a cool poster. Really enjoyed this one. But there are also other poster artists who do this Oscar series. For example, Nuno Sarnadas. This is one here on Twitter. He has done all of them already, like for all the Best Picture contenders, compared to the others who like one after another reveal their posters. But yeah, this is really great. Got all of them in there. Check them out. Nuno Cernadas on Twitter here or Instagram. And then we have Snolly Guster Production, and he did this Trial of the Chicago 7 poster, which looks really cool, but also done some others. The Father, for example, there are different versions of this one. And Judas and the Black Messiah, noticed by Haley Turnbull. But you can see on Twitter and everywhere you find a bunch of artists who have taken the Oscar opportunity and make posters for the best picture films, for the nominated best picture films. One of them is also Scott Soslow, who did this Minari piece, which looks really cool as well. More like an educational kind of poster, like from biology class or something like that. And Matt Needle from the Poster Posse also has done 3 of them. Mang, Promising Young Woman, and The Father. Maybe some more yet, but I have seen only those. But yeah, check this out. It's definitely some cool stuff that you will find, and it that you can have some fun with for your Oscar party that will be probably only digital this year. Moving on to our next friend of the show and friend of yours.
I don't know.
You can read, come on. It's Mortal Kombat.
I don't know where you're
it's
at.
Mortal Kombat.
Oh, okay, Mortal Kombat. Cool. This is by the excellent Lisa Shumskaya.
Yeah.
I can't see it right now.
But you know you know what it looks like, right?
Of course I do. So this is this is identifiably Lisa's style. But yeah, there's a lot going on. This course pretty frantic, just like Mortal Kombat. What else can I say?
Get over here.
Lisa's super underrated.
Give her a shout.
Yeah, she needs to get on the show. So
she definitely needs to get on the show. But next week it's gonna be Nan Lawson, by the way. Teasing you guys now. Nan Lawson is gonna come on Friday. So if you have questions, hit me up in the DMs that I should ask her. Next we have 2 more for you guys. Next one is also a good friend of the show, and he's Mr. Separations. That's what he called. This should be called Juan Separations San Jose. And he did this beautiful Kill Bill piece, which is amazing. The regular version looks very cool, but I have to say the variant version is even more amazing. I think it was a multicolored, I think it was 12 color as well, or 10 color screen print. And this time he just didn't do only the separations, but the details on this one, it looks fire print. If you had a chance to get one, if you want a commission group, it was a private commission for a 24 by 36 inch print. And there was the AP sale just happened. There was a lottery. I heard over 200 people try to get 10 of them. So it's definitely was hard to get. And incredible piece. All those painters, they also do crazy cool stuff, I have to say. Okay, and our last one, since James doesn't want to talk anymore.
Whiplash by This is another great print. Like, this has been a couple of awesome weeks for non-gallery art, I think.
Yeah.
Like that Kill Bill and Whiplash.
And this one has some crazy cool print, right? In terms of how they printed it. It has some shine to it, right?
So I think they did something onto the gold areas, like the symbol areas, to make it kind of shine. And it was also printed onto a paper which reflected like sheet music, like the thickness or the texture of sheet music as well.
It's
a beautiful print. There's not that many Whiplash prints around.
It's a really cool one. I also like the part of like where all the credits are on the chopstick on the drumsticks. I'm sorry. Yes.
On the drumsticks. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Very good. Very neat.
Very neat stuff. Cool idea. So Wolfgang Leblanc, which is the craziest name. I googled this guy. I thought, is he French? Because Wolfgang is a very German name. Leblanc is a very French name, I'd say. But the guy is from Caracas, Venezuela.
Oh.
Crazy combination. But yeah, that's cool stuff. People, check it out. Check him out. Check all the artists out, obviously, on Instagram. I put all in the captions, all the Instagram handles if you cannot find them. And be our guest next week when we will have Nan Lawson on. And then after that, in 2 weeks, we are going to be back for some more release parts. But before we're back with the release show, we will have the anniversary party going on. It has been 1 year of DROPCAST, the movie poster podcast. On March 20th, we had our 1 year anniversary. And yeah, James, you're a part of it now, so you can also celebrate yourself being part of this. So yeah, that's thank you, man, for doing this always with me, and let's do it for another year and have some cool stuff.
You're gonna say forever.
Forever, yeah, I would do it forever with you, but I don't know if like people want us to do it forever.
I don't think so. Let us know in the comments. Do you want this forever?
We make it happen. But yeah, cool stuff.
Turn that notification bell on and listen forever.
Exactly. Yeah, but thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on, James. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. So stay tuned for the festivities. There's going to be multiple prints and other books and stuff you can get in a giveaway. And I will let you know right ahead of time how this giveaway is going to work. So I'll see you guys soon. Take care, guys. Bye.